Hey, I'm your host, Victoria, and welcome back to Club to Contracts. Today, we're going to be talking about something that's super important to me and that I know is super important to all of you if you feel like you're just like stuck in this box that either you put yourself in or, other people put you in, that your family put you in, that a toxic friend or a toxic ex or even a toxic current, leave him, put you in. You can always change the narrative. So that's what I'm going to be sharing today. Hey, I'm Victoria, your host for Club to Contracts, where we talk about motherhood, getting out of the nightlife, being a boss bitch, and building a career with badass women all around you. This podcast is brought to you by QNA Network. There was a time that I believed that whenever you messed up, like that's just you and that's just who you are. But spoiler alert, it's not. I remember I thought that the club life defined me, or that people would only see, the bottle girl, the bartender, the waitress, I thought that reputation would follow me through this career. I mean, it took some time, but now I have to remind them that I worked, in the club life. Like I stopped, really, I tried to make my social media, which was another thing with real estate. Like I had to shift it from like party girl, fun, to businesswoman. And it was rough. And one thing my mom always taught me growing up, and now like rest in peace to her, but she gave me the best advice to live my life, still hearing it. But the biggest thing she used to say, and I never believed her or really took the advice as a teenager and made me have to work extra hard as an adult to do this, but your reputation. Your reputation matters so much, but reputation now with social media, like you can you can make it what you want. You can kind of rewrite the narrative. It doesn't have to like go through the grapevine of the small town anymore. You can quite literally archive old photos that you think, in my instance, scream party girl, scream raver, scream whatever. And you can now start to post what you want to be perceived as. And then in that sense, it kind of shifts your own thinking and your reality, and then opportunities present themselves. I don't know how, but it happens. And yeah, look at God. You can literally change who you are to everyone else like that. It's insane. And yeah, I just think it's very important that you know that if I can do it with the reputation that I had, not really, it wasn't even like that bad, but I was the party girl. I was the club rat. I was that girl. And I rechanged it. And now I'm helping just amazing business people and even just regular everyday clients that they definitely wouldn't have trusted waitress Tori, bottle girl Tori. You know what I mean? But they trust bad bitch Tori. And that's what's important. We often carry labels from childhood or past actions or even ourselves, what we put, like the box that we put ourselves in, but you don't have to. Like, so even this doesn't even tie into just business, really. Like, this can tie into relationships. Like, so before I met my wife, I kind of touched base on like a toxic relationship that I had. But whenever my wife and I got together, it was so soon after that toxic relationship that my friends and even her friends, like all of our friends, my friends like kind of turned on me, but they were just like, you're not going to be, a good person to your wife, or you're not going to, even though I truly don't think I was a bad person in my past relationship, I just wasn't safe. And I flew away whenever I didn't feel safe. And it wasn't a safe and loving environment. Now with my wife, I am such a house cat. My son calls me a sofa cat. I am not a party girl. I don't want to go chase the next, DJ set or whatever. Like I want to stay home and be cuddly and cute and fun. So that's a way that I reinvented myself. And I had to prove that to everybody. And it wasn't easy, especially right at the beginning, whenever you just felt like everybody was against you and they didn't believe in you at all. And I saw some things that they said, and that sucked. And that made me want to fight or flight. Like I will always choose flight. And it made me really like have imposter syndrome, even with a relationship. Like, who would have thought? But in the end, love my friends, and the haters, duh. But I made it out. And now we're married, having a baby, plan to have a couple more in our first home. We're doing good for ourselves. We're in our favorite careers ever, like the ones that we wanted to be in. And it's just, it's amazing. So no matter what people think of you or your situation or your past or your choices or whatever, you can reinvent yourself and prove them all wrong. I don't know about anybody else, but my favorite thing to do is whenever someone says I can't, I will always do it. It's the best motivation ever to truly flip the script and do that 180. I've had so many turning points with reinventing myself, with, really wanting to change on like a DNA level who I am and how others perceive me. Obviously, the one that I've talked about and the one that's most obvious is going from, working at a club to now in business and being in real estate and being that whole different, business girl. But even like I just touched on relationship wise, from my toxic relationship to my real, I just said real relationship, which is, fact, but to my marriage. Whenever I lost my mom, I wanted to reinvent myself because I was super hard on the surface. Like, I didn't like you, blocked. You did something that hurt me and we were blocked, very hard on the surface, like I wasn't easy to crack. And now, even though I do have still my boundaries, like I've had to still not put people in their place, but kind of take people out of their place in my life. I've still had to do that, but I've tried to truly be softer after I lost my mother, especially with people that I really love. Like I really try to give the benefit of the doubt more and really think about what I say before I say it. And if I don't have anything nice to say, I just don't say it at all because I don't want to do that. But that's another point in my life where I have reinvented myself. That completely changed me. So it's not just work, it's not just relationships, it can be anything. I also, whenever I lost my mom, I turned way inward into faith and my religion, which I grew up Catholic. And I was like, okay, there's no more playing. Like I need to see my mom again one day. So I turned into that. And now that's a whole other reinvention that I've been doing. Before I was like spiritual and like, maybe there's something, maybe there's not, that kind of thing. But I really like honed in on like, there's no time to waste. You need to get right now and figure out now what you believe. Another turning point that I feel like kind of kickstarted something in me about, wanting to really be focusing on getting my real estate license and getting out of the club life was someone, a guy, whenever like my friend's guy or whatever said something super hurtful and it stuck with me. I was partying. It wasn't a night that I had my child. And he said something crazy like, you're a mother. You're a mother. I was just drinking with my friends, having a good time. And I don't think anybody would have said that to a father. But regardless, I was just having fun. And he said, you're a mother. Act like it. Fuck him. Anyway, but that made me like, I don't know, shift back my focus to like, oh, I need to get out of this like scene. Even though I'm not working it, I'm just partying it. I need to get out of this because this is how people see you. And you're never going to have, not that really, also, I need to preface this. Who cares what people think of you really? But whenever you want to especially do like a sales income based, like that kind of income based business, you kind of have to care what people think about you to a point. People are going to be assholes regardless. But to a point, you kind of have to have that picture perfect lifestyle for who you want to attract. You know what I mean? And yeah, and it was on video. So that moment sucked. And I still think about it. And now I think like, yeah, I am a mother. I'm a mother and I beat all odds. Whenever everybody thought I was just the party girl, whenever everybody thought I was going to be toxic in my marriage to my wife, whenever everybody thought my mother's death would make me harder. Yeah. And I got through that shit like a mother. And I know I touched a bit about like social media and like how you can change people's perspective on social media, but it's truly not just like that. Like if you truly want to be different or you truly want to be perceived this way, like yeah, social media is a great tool to like be upfront in front of people doing that and changing, but also, your habits, your mindset, everything has to change with it, which the good and your surroundings, the group of people that you hang out with. There are so many people that I don't see anymore because I'm out of that, like kind of those mindsets, regardless of what it was for, like relationship, grief, work, career, whatever. And honestly, you don't even have to put that much effort into it. I truly think if you like just do your mindset, everything else kind of snowballs. You start to realize birds of a feather do flock together, and you separate yourself from certain people or areas, like, that kind of, you don't go to the bars all the time or whatever. Once your mindset changes and you're like truly ready to commit, everything snowballs. You don't just become one version of yourself from the next. You have to build her. It's one piece at a time, day by day, small habit by small habit that leads to huge changes. It's not as easy as snapping your fingers or posting in a cute little business dress on social media. As much as I wish it was that, I thought it would be, and it was definitely not. I've built who I've become piece by piece, and you can too. You just have to put in the work. But honestly, it starts to snowball. And if you surround yourself with people that are also working on themselves, they don't have to be in the same career as you. They don't have to be having the same goals as you, but you'll find your people that are like truly serious about their life and their mindset and who they want to be, whether it's for their kids or for themselves. And you'll find those people, and those are the people that will help you become who you want to be, whether that's for your children, your family, yourself, whatever. Birds of a feather flock together. No truer words have been spoken than that. I know that I'm like not the most successful real estate agent ever in the world. I'm not the most, wide known, I'm not the most sought out after like person for people to use, but I can truly say that even on my smaller scale, the people that doubted you will eventually ask you how you do it, how you did it, how you changed everything. I've had so many instances with that. So even those people are watching. And at the very least, if spite can get you through to change, that would work. And that's amazing. I say do it. I love working on spite. And yeah, it feels so good. It's like validating. Whenever someone used to say, you're this, you're that, and then they're like, hey, can you help me? It's crazy. It's a crazy feeling. And now, especially more so since I lost my mom, trying to be softer, I will always help. I will always help because I know what it's like to be in the toxic mindset. And I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt that they just were too, and they didn't know any better. Once you know better, you do better. And that's why I will always be there to help them. You're not stuck in someone else's version of you that they made up in their head, and unfortunately, you started believing it. You can reinvent yourself without needing anybody else's approval. What part do you want to work on? Work on one part at a time. That part could take weeks, months, a year. You want to get up earlier every day, start setting your alarm just 5 minutes earlier. That's helped me. Now I'm a full morning person, which going from nightlife to being a morning person is crazy switch up, but it took little habits here and there. Don't try to do all of it all at once, because then you're going to get burnout, and then you're not going to want to do it. And you're going to go back to the comfort of, your service industry job or whatever job you're like miserable with that you're trying to get away with. You're going to go back into your shell. So don't do that. Truly take it step by step, day by day, piece by piece, and you will become that version of yourself. It's just going to take all the shifts, but slowly. You're literally the author of your own life. You can change the entire story, the entire plot line, the entire character, everything. You can change all of that. So I feel like you need to be told that, because I needed to be told that. And the second I started really believing that is the second I actually did blossom. So hopefully any of my little stories here or advice, you'll listen to it, because truthfully, we can all win. We can all become the best versions of ourselves. And picture how great the world would be if everybody was just like actively working on making themselves better and not worried about everybody else. Oh, wishful thinking. If you've reinvented yourself, I'd love to hear about it. Truly, my DMs are always open. Let's talk about it. Let's go back and forth and talk about what helped us. Like, I would love to hear from you. Please write in, whether on Facebook or on Instagram, DM me, and I swear to you, I will get back to you. We can just like chat the shit. Truly, I'm so blessed that I've gotten so much amazing feedback on these episodes so far. I have to thank everybody who has taken the time to rate, like, subscribe, share, all the things. Like, truly from the bottom of my heart, I love you. And I'm so excited to have so many new podcast besties. And I cannot wait to see y'all in the next one, which, plot twist, the next one, I will not have him inside, like in my belly. So he will be outside. And yeah, I can't wait. And we will definitely be having more guests on after he's out. But yeah, I'm so excited. Bye. The easiest way to keep up with all these episodes that are going to be coming out is subscribing on any major platform where you hear podcasts. But also, I have a Facebook at Club to Contracts, and the Instagram is at Club to Contracts Pods.